Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about why I do believe that you only need 1000 XDC for life-changing wealth. Now, of course, before we do jump into this video, I just want to say ahead of time, I am recording this, and scheduling this for later, so prices are subject to change. Also, by the way, life-changing wealth is essentially exactly what you want to make of it. So it could be either $1,000, $1 million, it doesn't matter. It's honestly all your opinion, but in my opinion, life-changing wealth is anything over $1 million. And the reason why I say this is because with $1 million, you could ultimately make life-changing wealth and generational wealth off of investment opportunities alone, depending on how well you actually do it and if you do it the right way. Now, let's actually jump in and let's talk about this. So ultimately, we're going to be addressing how you could turn $1,000 into $1 million with XDC. Now, of course, is this speculation? Yes, 100%. But I do believe that when we talk about things happening around Xinfin, specifically utility gems and even ISO 222 tokens, I do believe that a lot of these major opportunities in this market are going to really kind of shine greatly as we do kind of move down in the long-term stretch of crypto. Now, what am I talking about in terms of what Xinfin is focused on? Well, I'm going to be talking to you guys about trade finance, and ultimately we will address, the longevity of this investment and really kind of talk to you guys about where XDC could head to. Now, first off, I do just want to say, in regards to Xinfin and where you should be buying Xinfin, I talked to you guys multiple times about basically where we could head down to. Massive downtrend right now on this token, and when we talk about, where we could really kind of reach in terms of the low prices, we are basically building out a floor model at around like roughly the 3.5 cent zone. But if we do lose this area, which I do foresee, like we will most likely see the bottom of like roughly the March of 2021 time frame being tested, which was at like roughly the 3 cent zone, or ultimately 2 cents. I think anywhere between 2 to 3 cents is a perfect opportunity for XDC accumulation, in my opinion. That is where I'm going to be buying most of my XDC. I do have some bags left over from back here, and also even recently I did buy during the summer of 2021 as well, which I am in. I'm pretty much underwater on some of those buy points, but I feel confident enough to hodl XDC long term. I treat it almost like an XRP bag, and I just think that this is at some nice levels to even accumulate, even at the price that we do see on the screen now. Now, of course, in regards to Xinfin and what XDC basically has been building. So first off, they just celebrated 3 years. It was 3 successful years as well since the XDC mainnet launch. We do see XDC network is growing every day, and we take this opportunity to thank all the community members, ecosystem partners, supporters, and masternode holders for your support and love. And of course, we do see down here 245 nodes, 283.81 million recorded transactions, 791,400 new accounts basically, and then also 45.8 million blocks, 11,600 smart contracts deployed, and of course you guys do see the market down here. You see the wallets, all that kind of stuff, dApps and projects built out on XDC, which some of these are pretty significant. We talked about Comtech Gold just the other day, tokenizing gold, pretty significant. The Impel Bridge with Corda, also very incredible, and then of course Trade Finex and things like that. The support that XDC does have from like even the XRP community and stuff has been growing as well, because I do think that a lot of individuals are realizing the massive opportunity that we do have around Xinfin. I really kind of look at Xinfin as a trade finance massive gem, and let's actually talk about why. So first off, shout out to CryptoNair D here, but we do see XDC data standards and interoperability, ICC and Swift trillions of dollars in global trade. And we actually do see up here, this is from Swift.com, data standards and interoperability. The ICC and Swift have long played a role in facilitating trillions of dollars in global trade through tools, including the UCP and Swift messaging standards. Now, the reason why we really kind of bring this up is because of basically where we are headed with trade finance. I do think that as we do really kind of look at trade platforms, trade, finance in general, we really kind of look at digitization and really kind of look at tokenization as well of trade documents. Now, of course, that has been already kind of proven on Xinfin, and I do believe that Xinfin basically is the giant behind this area. And of course, they are mentioning a few things here in terms of ISO 222. They're really kind of talking about the developments happening within it, the rapidly, growing, need for something like this. And of course, they are also mentioning APIs and DLT with digitization. We do see in trade, ISO 222's rich data could help to enable digitization. It could also help to facilitate interoperability as it lends itself to APIs and DLTs. This goes beyond the technology. Richer standardization or standardized data could better equip financial institutions to manage the multiple binding constraints on the trade finance business, from trade-based money laundering to regulatory capital optimization. Like I've said, in terms of ISO 222, I do believe that we should be putting a main focus point on that area, as, again, Xinfin is basically ISO 222 compliant, which could lead to the token itself being ISO 222 compliant itself. We know that tokens don't basically have to be compliant. It basically just matters if the network itself is. And when we talk about ISO 222, I just think that that is a game changer in terms of data itself. It really kind of opens major doors and opportunities for digitization and tokenization to really kind of take over at a massive scale. Now, of course, we do see here $19 trillion. Let that sink in. Thank you, Andre Kasserman, for the great work. This goes back to August 17th, 2021. But of course, this is a quote from Andre Kasserman himself, talking about XDC Network joins the global TFD initiative. That's when we really kind of launched this. A consortium of trade originators, credit issuers, and institutional funders. We welcome Xinfin's XDC Network to TFD initiative, as this enables us to bridge the U.S. $19 trillion trade finance asset class. Now, of course, as we do really kind of look at this, this kind of leads me to the About section on the Xinfin.org website. The funny thing is that when you actually go to the About the Team section and you scroll down to a few individuals. So first off, there's one individual, and that is Atol Kakede. I hope that I'm saying his name right. I'm probably not, but he's the co-founder. And of course, we do see his focus down here. He is dedicated towards developing alliances and investor management and aims to bridge the $5 trillion government infrastructure gap utilizing Xinfin's blockchain applications. Now, of course, like I said, they are focused on trade finance, but they're also focused on many other areas here. There's a ton of money to really kind of be disrupted within this partnership, or not partnership, but in regards to this company itself, Xinfin, and through XDC as the settlement token, and also, it's basically being bridged to settle things on the R3 Corda network as well. I think that XDC as a massive opportunity is going to shine greatly because there's so much money that they're actually disrupting here. It's not just trade finance, which is also $19 trillion. We also see over here, now this is from the project manager at Xinfin organization. I found his LinkedIn, and on here, it's actually mentioning his experience as a project manager at Xinfin organization, but I found a significant quote here, and it's Xinfin is a hybrid private/public blockchain solution for international trade and finance aimed at bridging the $27 trillion infrastructure deficit globally. Again, when we look at what they are really focused on here, there's a ton of money to really be disrupted here. I want you guys to understand that, the $19 trillion bridge gap is pretty significant within trade finance, but there's so much more to this. I think that $27 trillion infrastructure deficit is definitely something to focus on as well. Now, we also do see over here, conclusion. It's obvious there is not one winner for issue in CBDCs. Swift has stated there will be multiple crypto assets running the new system. R3 and Xinfin are a power team, not only in trade finance, but also in banking. Andre Kasserman chose XDC for a reason. And of course, shout out to Dennis 911 for this. But we do see, R3 Cordite integration. Cordite Society has been engaged by Xinfin to run third-party Corda network nodes for Xinfin and provide interoperability among the Corda and Xinfin networks. DSL built a crypto bridge for Xinfin XDC to the Corda network as well. And then we do see over here, which this is significant. Xinfin is a hybrid blockchain forked from Quorum, developed from JP Morgan's token that moved more than $6 trillion a day across 100 plus countries. This will take its place on the DSL bridge, which will leverage XDC token for the CBDC settlement in the Corda ecosystem, which consists of over 300 banks. This is an important role for smart contract payments in the private sector. This is significant. 300 banks and also CBDC settlement. Pretty significant when you look at Corda. Now, of course, we also do see over here, while the inner workings of the system in place have not been explained in the public, Swift clarifies that part of the already existing payment infrastructure is being reused, including existing bank messaging standards and authentication models, ISO 20022, and Swift's private key infrastructure. We do see over here, so far, the experiments, which use several decentralized ledger platforms such as Corda and Quorum, show it could be possible to achieve the goals proposed. This would mean that CBDCs could coexist with traditional fiat currencies, utilizing Swift systems in a traditional phase to total digitization. This is where we really focus on, Corda and also Swift. Things are moving rapidly here. And of course, we also do see here the R3 Corda scheme. This is by XX_1133_1221_11. That's basically the individual who made this diagram, but it really kind of does show you guys exactly what's happening here in terms of the tech stack. You do see the tech delivery, the plug and play through the R3 Corda bridge. We do see the cross-border CBDC corridor network, and of course, this is all done through a massive plug and play opportunity. Now, of course, this is the R3 Corda bridge itself, which would leverage, again, Xinfin as the settlement token here. I do believe that XDC is very, very bullish in terms of, where we are basically headed into this plug and play aspect through API gateways and things like that. CBDCs and cross-border payment models are pretty significant to pay attention to, and I definitely want you guys to pay attention to R3 Corda if you do hold XDC or even plan on holding XDC. Now, with all of this in mind, I do really want to, take you to the last step of this video, and that is why I do believe that $1,000 invested into XDC is a significant opportunity. So first off, we really kind of look here, and when we look at $1,000 in, this is the market cap of Bitcoin currently, $564.6 billion. Now, I know that it's going to take time to get to this point, right? Obviously, this is not going to happen overnight, but when we look at the upside potential on XDC, and say for so XDC gets to like about $46, I do think that that is an opportunity, in my opinion at least, when we look at where we could, basically head to within Xinfin, considering the amount of money that we are basically disrupting, and XDC as a major settlement token on the network, even with Corda, I think that this is something that is 100% possible. I think that $500 billion in terms of market cap for assets like XDC is something that I would say is pretty conservative when you look at the amount of money that they are disrupting. Now, this would roughly get you, 26,300 tokens. And at $46, that is $1.2 million. It is enough to cover taxes as well as profit a significant amount. Now, what would the timeline be on this? Well, it's hard to put a timeline on this, and it's also hard to even predict when we would actually get to this point. But I do believe that if you have $1,000 that you could possibly invest and kind of just let sit and forget about, I do believe that XDC is one of those opportunities. Obviously, you'd want to store it on something fairly secure, keep the, again, keys for it. But I just think that $1,000 is a pretty significant investment into something like XDC when you look at the upside potential on this. Now, obviously, like I said, are we going to get to this, price figure overnight? No, absolutely not. And honestly, even in the short term, when we look at like, say for so like $46 billion, you're still looking at like 100x opportunity, which again would be a $3.80 XDC. That is conservative in my opinion. And this is something that would most likely happen, I would say, by at least 2025. And it could even happen sooner, rather than later. But I just think that XDC is a life-changing opportunity, and it's one of those major assets similar to like XRP and XLM that I just feel comfortable holding long-term. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.